Hi class, it's Emily, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about our Writing 39A Intro to Writing and Rhetoric class and show you a few things on Canvas as well as go over the syllabus with you today. So I'm going to show you a few things. You'll see on the opening page that one of the best ways to navigate through the course is through the Modules tab. So if you go over here and click on Modules, very quickly you'll see that we have laid out, as my computer comes up, how to go through the course week by week according to the modules. And you can see what you need to do as you move through these. When you click on them, it will tell you about the reading and assignments that you have to do each week, as well as an overview for each week, such as what is a voice introductions or what is voice exploration. This is the best way for you to move through the class and to understand and know all of the assignments that you're doing. You'll see under the assignments that there are some assignments due. However, then you will miss out on some of the important reading that I'm asking you to do as well. Now, to go over the syllabus, we click over here on the left-hand side again under syllabus. And I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about the required text and some of the highlights of the syllabus. First off, our theme text is The Great Gatsby, and we'll be exploring the theme question, what is voice? You need to procure a copy of this and make sure you have it in front of you so you can annotate it. Looking at the most recent movie will not suffice for this. And then you also will need to have the Anteater's Guide to Writing and Rhetoric. We have copies of the PDFs in our online course here as you move through. However, if you want a hard copy and find it easier, you can find that at UC Irvine's bookstore. Our other text will be Connect Composition, and this is an online text that will take you through some grammatical help that you might need. There will be more information about how to get this in the modules, and so you can follow that step by step on how to procure that text. Everything else that we'll be reading in the class will be provided to you on Canvas. One of the two things that you really need are UC's Canvas as well as Turnitin.com. I will show you later when we need to access the site, the password, and access information. First off, we really just want to talk to you about what Writing 39A Online is. Writing 39A is a way to develop the skills that you need prior to going into classes that prepare you for college writing. So we will work on fine-tuning all of your writing skills, and particularly those for each individual student, so that you will be confident in going into your college writing courses. An online course, just to let you know, can be more demanding than a face-to-face course, so as long as you're self-motivated and you're ready to check in often, several times a week, to make sure that you can do the work, you should not have any problems. However, if you feel that you need a teacher that you can see in the front of the class on several occasions, this is probably not the right course for you. I want to talk just a little bit briefly about the assignments that we have. You'll see that there's a writing portfolio, and this is 100% of your grade. That's because in the Writing 39A, we really believe that it's not fair to grade you on things that you haven't learned yet. So you're acquiring these skills all the way from week 1 all the way to week 10. And so we grade you at week 10 when you've learned all of these skills, that you can apply all of these skills, and you can really showcase the talents that you have. That does not mean that you don't have to do work throughout the entire 10 weeks of the course, but it means that you're building these skills and that you have time to try something, perhaps not succeed as much as you might want to, and then go back and revise and succeed on a second or third or fourth try even. So writing is about revision, and we're really kind of looking at harnessing this idea of revision and going back and learning these skills throughout the course. Your progress will be somewhat based on your own pace. However, there are deadlines. You must turn things in on time when I have them scheduled. Otherwise, you will not receive the feedback that you need from me as well as your classmates. If you don't get the feedback from me, obviously that's probably crucial to your success in the course. So make sure that you stick to the schedule, that you turn things in on time, and that you complete those assignments. Obviously, participation, making sure that you're staying up to date in the class and continuing the progress in the class will also affect your overall grade in this final writing portfolio. As part of the writing portfolio, we have 3 major assignments. And the first assignment are imitation exercises. We will be looking at various genres, fiction, nonfiction, academic writing, and we will be looking at how they put their writing together, these various authors. So once we start to look at that and pick those apart, we are going to apply that to our own writing and imitate them. So we will be imitating The Great Gatsby. We will be imitating nonfiction articles. We will be imitating academic articles so that you can get a sense of how these writers put together their own arguments and then how you can start to apply that in putting together your own arguments as well. In terms of the imitation exercises, we're going to focus on some very particular skills. One is this idea of introduction, narration, exploration, dialogue, and persuasion. In these individual tasks, you'll have very specific crafted techniques that I want you to focus on, and then we'll start to work on putting these all together after the imitation exercises. They don't have a required length, but these are going to be our building blocks, so you need to take them seriously, and you need to really try to do your best in terms of these because they are going to be the basis for your future papers. So then with the 2 main papers that you have for the class, it's the Teacher's Choice Essay and the Student's Choice Essay. The Teacher's Choice Essay will be something that I will ask you to go back and look at your 5 imitation exercises that you've done. You and I will work on this together, and I will decide which skills I think you need to work on more, and we will come up with a prompt of what you need to write about for this Teacher's Choice Essay, and in answering our theme question, what is voice? So with that being said, I would ask you to really work hard on the imitation exercises, as these will be the things that start to inform your teacher choice essay. We will pre-write, draft, and revise this essay and go through feedback several times, and we'll really work at including all of the skills we've learned in the imitation exercises in this essay. And once you've done that and started to kind of feel secure in the skills that you have, we will ask you then to have your own choice. And the student's choice essay means that you can develop any of the imitation exercises you've been a particular fan of, or it can be something even outside of that, and that you feel that you want to answer a question a particular way in a particular genre. Your only requirement is that you answer this question, what is voice? And you can make that as specific as you need to be for your own purposes. It's a very broad question, but we will then work on specifying it and giving you a way to answer that question clearly. And that will be your capstone essay for the course. As you'll also see, there are some other things, participation, peer review, and discussions that you'll need to do. The discussions will be about some critical reading that we do as we move through the different texts that we look at. These all weigh heavily as well. One of the other things here is you'll see a rubric, and this gives you kind of a basis of what I'm looking for in your writing. Look at it briefly now. We'll go back and examine it more carefully as we go throughout the course. The other thing is the course policies. You'll see that these are all the things that you need to have. You have to have internet. You have to be able to access a computer. You cannot submit work that you've submitted in the past. You have to be able to pass this class with a C or higher. And there's many different ways to fail. Don't do any of these things so that you fail the course. You can read through all of those and look at that. In terms of plagiarism, you can't copy somebody else's work and use it as your own. Please look at the university policy on this. You will be signing a form that will ask you to make sure that you understand this issue of plagiarism and academic honesty. It can have serious repercussions, so you want to make sure that you understand it. And if you have any questions of citing or quoting or paraphrasing sources, you can always come and talk to me about that to make sure that we accurately represent what is your work in your own writing and what is somebody else's writing if you are quoting them. In terms of some of the last things, one is respecting your instructor's time. I won't take too much time on this, but obviously online can be intensive for both instructors as well as students. So this just gives you some guidelines on how to fine-tune things so we can get the most out of the time that we have together and be efficient and effective as well. And then the last thing is really how to do well in Writing 39A. And in terms of doing well in Writing 39A, you have to realize that it takes time. While some of these things seem like they might be small, you actually have to invest quite a bit of time in them. A class time is usually 3 hours per week, and we expect you in terms of homework to do 2 to 3 hours outside of class. That means about 9 to 12 hours need to be spent on this class every week. So make sure that you budget that in terms of your time and really spending that time for this course. You want to be curious about the text you read. You want to really make sure that you understand the topic, that you're interested in The Great Gatsby, that you're interested in this question of what is voice. If that's not the case, then maybe this isn't the best class for you. And so you want to think about, what can I invest in and how am I invested in these questions as we go forward? And be passionate about the subject. If you're not passionate about your writing, nobody else will be passionate about it either. And then the last thing is, get help when you need it. There's a lot of various resources. We have peer tutors on campus, the UCI Writing Center, as well as my online office hours to get individual attention. So make sure that you seek me out, make sure that you seek out others so you can really get that attention that you need. One of the last things that I just want to highlight up here is that you will also be able to ask questions on something called Piazza. So any questions that you have about the course, I ask that you post in Piazza here, and you will see that it is slowly coming up, that there's a place to post, and when it comes up I will show you that. But basically you can do new posts and you can put them under the questions folder. All right, and you can pick questions or something else. And these are a place that you can post questions that you have about the course. Obviously, you're probably going to have quite a few, and especially in an online course, that's normal. So I ask that you go ahead and use this. This is a place for us to kind of come and communicate with each other. So you can post a question, you can post a note if you don't necessarily need an answer, and there will also be some other assignments that we'll use in Piazza for as a place to discuss. So this is a place really to put your questions. Put your questions here. Both students and instructors can answer them. You can like questions if you have the same question. And this will be the place that we really try to answer most of them. If you email me individual questions, they should be really only specifically about your writing and not something that needs to be for the group. If it's a question for the whole group, I will direct you back to Piazza to post it there so I can answer it there. That way we get the benefit of knowing the answers that our classmates, of questions that our classmates ask, and so that I don't have to repeat things 20, 30 times in order to answer all of your questions, that you can all see it here as well. So make sure that you check in on Piazza as well and see what other people are asking so you can get answers to your questions as well. If you have any questions, post them on Piazza, and if they're individual, you can then email me about them as well. I look forward to talking to you more in class.